antiques here.
Antiques?
That beautiful grandfather clock in the window, for example, a classic. Wonder how much they're asking.
It's quite reasonable, I'm sure, even though it's new.
But it can't be.
Come along now. We'll be late.
Again. Again.
It's no use. There's no pulse.
It's a crying shame. He wasn't very old. You say he just jumped off the train?
Right here, in the snow, in the middle of nowhere. Never saw anything like it. Poor Mr. Williams. He shouted something, ran out, opened the door, and that's the last I saw of him. Thought he went to have a smoke or something.
Now a heart attack, probably.
Yeah, if the fall didn't get him.
Well, he must have died instantly then. At least he didn't suffer. Look at his face. Like he's at peace.
Yeah, that's the way to look at it.
All clear. Let's move it out.
Where should we take the body?
Out of the local mortuary for now.
Willoughby's funeral parlor?
That's the one. They'll hold him till somebody contacts the family.
All right, let's put him on the stretcher. Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3, lift!
Who withstood the slings and arrows that come with life in the fast lane for as long as he could bear them, and eventually sought respite for his torment in the only place left open to him, under a gravestone. Who climbed onto a world that went too fast for him and then finally jumped off. Mr. Gart Williams, who might now tell us what really awaits us in the great beyond, because this too is very much a part of the Twilight Zone.
Hi, this is Carl Amari, producer of the Twilight Zone radio dramas. I'd like to take a moment to tell you about our official website at twilightzoneradio.com, where you'll get the latest news and information on these Twilight Zone radio dramas. Plus, at twilightzoneradio.com, you can digitally download 3 free episodes or any of our episodes for only $1.95 each. In this age of ever-changing technology, we've decided to make these episodes
plus commercials, of course.
A Stop at Willoughby, starring Chelsea Ross, with Stacy Keach as your narrator, was written for The Twilight Zone by Rod Serling and adapted for radio by Dennis Etchison. Heard in the cast were Rich Komanek, Peggy Roeder, Turk Muller, Lynn Foley, Laura Russell, Tony Castillo, Roderick Peoples, Linda Ryder, Jeff Lupitin, Mike Algedan, and Adam Tangway. To learn more about the Twilight Zone radio dramas and to obtain audio cassettes and CDs of these programs, visit our website at twilightzoneradio.com. This copyrighted radio series is produced and directed by Carl Amari and Roger Wolski for Falcon Picture Group. Doug James speaking.
You're traveling through another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. A journey into a wondrous land whose boundaries are that of imagination. Your next stop? The Twilight Zone.
Blasted alarm. Let me sleep. Oh, all right, I hear you.
It's 7:01 on a beautiful spring morning.
What's so beautiful about it?
Mike Munn, here with some more sunshine. Favorite listening station, Radio K-Rand.
Oh, you shut up.
So, whether you're on the way to work or just waking up, relax. We'll be with you all day long, bringing you melodic masterpieces around the clock,
off, I say. I did not set this radio to go on at all.
And before we start another set of timeless hits, here's a special message for one of our favorite listeners, Bartlett Finchley.
What?
Mr. Finchley, we know you're out there, so put on a happy face. Take some time to smell the coffee. And remember, we love you madly, but we'd love you even more if you'd get out. Nobody wants you here, so you may as well pack up and get out now.
See about that. Of all the outrageous gall. Operator, get me K-Rant. Yes, the radio station. No, I don't know the number. Kindly dial it for me. If you can spare a moment from your crossword puzzle.
K-Band, how may I direct your call?
Connect me with Mike Munn.
I beg your pardon?
Munn, your asinine disc jockey.
I'm sorry, sir, but there's no one here by that name.
Of course there is. I just heard him on the radio. He took it upon himself to broadcast a personal insult directly and specifically aimed at me.
We play all music all the time, sir.
Do you know who you're speaking to? This is Bartlett Finchley.
Yes, Mr. Finchley?
And I will not be addressed in such a manner, on or off the air.
Of course not, sir. Which manner?
I'm sure you know full well what I'm talking about. The airwaves are licensed by the Federal Communications Commission, and they are not to be used for personal messages. I'm sure the FCC will be most interested in these blatant violations. They'll pull your license so fast they'll make your empty head spin like a top.
But we don't have disc jockeys. We don't broadcast any messages at all. Only beautiful music 24 hours a day. Plus commercials, of course.
Let me speak to your station manager.
Yes, sir. Please hold.
And don't you dare place me on hold, you high school dropout. Oh, for the love of... I don't have time for this nonsense. I will not have it. I'll write a blistering letter to the FCC that will knock this rinky-dink station off the air. Hello? I want to file a complaint. A very, very serious complaint about your broadcasting policies.
Come off it, Finchley.
What did you say?
Get off your high horse and give it a rest. Or you're out of here.
You low-life nincompoop. How dare you address me in that fashion? I'll have you fired on the spot. What is your name, you cretinous subhuman? Don't you hang up on me! Hello? Hello? Hello?
This is Mr. Bartlett Finchley, age 42, a practicing sophisticate and dedicated misanthrope who writes very special and very precious things for gourmet magazines, critical journals, and the like. He's a bachelor and a recluse with few friends, only devotees and adherents to the cause of tart sophistry. He has no interest save whatever current annoyances he can find to occupy his mind. He has no purpose to his life, except the formulation of day-to-day opportunities to vent his wrath on the mechanical contrivances of an age he abhors. In short, Mr. Bartlett Finchley is a malcontent, born either too late or too early in history, and who, in just a moment, will enter a realm where muscles and the will to fight back are not limited to human beings. Next stop for Mr. Bartlett Finchley, the Twilight Zone.
And now, The Twilight Zone, and our story, A Thing About Machines, starring Mike Starr, with Stacy Keach as your narrator.
How are you today, Mr. Finchley?
I'll answer that burning question after you tell me what's wrong with this electronic abomination in my living room.
You mean your TV set?
And also acquaint me with how much your current larceny is going to cost me.
Well, let's see here. 2 hours labor, new circuit board, new oscillator, new comb filter.
How very technical and how very nice. Speak English, man.
You asked me what was wrong.
Never mind the subterfuge. I presume I'm to be dunned once again for 3 times the worth of the bloody thing.
Well, I didn't charge you for my travel time.
The total. What is the total?
Here you go, Finchley.
Oh, surely you jest.
All right. I'll give you a break on the sales tax. Seeing as how you're a regular.
But this is the price of a meal in a 4-star restaurant. With wine.
Labor don't come cheap nowadays.
And neither, apparently, does my peace of mind. I requested that the device be restored to working order. The alternative being more disruptions to my writing schedule.
Well, you could just get a new one every time. Might be easier all around. Last time I was here, Mr. Finchley, you'd kicked your foot through the picture tube, remember?
I have a vivid recollection. It was not working properly, like every other electronic contraption in this house. I tried to rehabilitate it.
By wrecking it?
After a certain point, that is the only option left. I disposed of a clock radio in a similar manner this morning. Unfortunately, I must view a cooking program this evening in order to write my review of their fare, which I'm sure will be abysmal as usual, if the television should choose to operate at all.
Why don't you just horsewhip it, Mr. Finchley? That'd show it who's boss.
What do you say we cease the small talk? Let's get down to the petty larceny and be done with it.
I'll put it on your tab. Send me a check before I come out the next time.
I sometimes wonder exactly what is the purpose of the Better Business Bureau in such transactions.
You got a complaint about my work?
When they allow you itinerant extortionists to come back week after week, move wires around, busily probe with ham-like hands, and accomplish nothing but the financial ruin of every customer on your route.
We're not a chip outfit, Mr. Finchley. We're legitimate repairmen. But I'll tell you something about yourself.
Spare me, please. I'm sure there must be some malnutrition analyst with an aging mother to care for whom I can contact for that purpose.
Why don't you hear me out, Mr. Finchley? That set doesn't work because you obviously got back there and yanked out wires and heaven knows what else. You had me over here last month to fix your tape recorder because you'd thrown it down the steps.
It did not work properly.
That's the point, Mr. Finchley. Why don't they work properly? Offhand, I'd say it's because you don't treat them properly.
I assume there's no charge for that bit of analysis.
What does go wrong with these things, Mr. Finchley? Have any idea?
Have I any idea? Now that's worth a scholarly 10 lines in your repairman's journal. Bilk the customer, but let him do the diagnosis.
Well, the reason I ask that is because whatever it is that really bothers you about that television set, and the radio, and all the rest, it's something you're not telling me.
Aside from being a rather incompetent clod, you're a most unreceptive listener. I've explained to you already. The television set simply did not work properly. And as for that original Marconi operating under the guise of a radio, it gave me nothing but static.
You sure that was all that was wrong with them?
I choose my words very precisely, thank you.
Well, there you go. TV's okay again, for now. I'll send you a complete bill, Mr. Finchley.
Of this I have no doubt.
Finchley, what is it with you, anyway?
With me?
Well, with you and machines, that is. Any type of machine, as far as I can tell.
This
Just
elevator
curious.
control console
You don't have
is
to
dead.
tell me if you don't want to.
Fortunately, your suit
If
was
it's
built to
something
fall
personal.
safely from any height.
I will file that
KX,
idiotic
and
question
all of
in
your
my
friends jump off a
memorabilia
cliff,
to be
you
referred
get to
to at
jump
some
off too.
future date when I write my memoirs. You will fill one entire chapter. The most forgettable person I have ever met. It just so happens, you boob. It just so happens that every machine in this house refuses to cooperate on any level. They behave as if... There! You see what I mean? Enough! I said that will be just about enough of that. Stop! 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 Please! Miss Rogers?
Yes, Mr. Finchley?
Let me see the pages.
Yes, sir.
Is that all you've done?
That's all I've done. 2 articles and 1 column, almost completely retyped, 40 pages in 3.5 hours. That's the best I can do, Mr. Finchley.
It's that idiotic gadget of yours, humming and clicking away. I suppose it's about to break down, too.
It's perfectly fine for a typewriter if you'd let me use a word processor.
My words don't need processing. They've already been diced and sliced by the most perfect processor known to man, the human brain, which in my case comes with a great deal of priceless expertise.
But a computer would increase the speed. I wouldn't have to worry about ribbons, correction tape.
The solution to that, Miss Rogers, is increased accuracy.
I'm extremely accurate, Mr. Finchley, and it's not my speed that's the problem. This is old-fashioned, out-of-date technology. If you'd allow me to bring a computer in here...
Oh, no! Not in my house. More unnecessary bells and whistles. Thomas Jefferson wrote out the preamble to the Constitution of the United States with an inkpot and a feather quill. It took him only half a day.
Then why don't you hire Mr. Jefferson?
Did I ever tell you with what degree of distaste I view insubordination?
Oh, yes, many times, often and endlessly.
What are you doing?
What does it look like? I'll tell you what, Mr. Finchley. From now on, you can get yourself a girl. Somebody with 3 arms and roughly the same sensitivity as an alligator. Then the 2 of you can work together till death do you part. As for me, I've had it.
And you are going where?
Where? I think I might take in Bermuda for a couple of weeks, or Mexico, or maybe a quiet sanitarium on the banks of the Hudson.
Now, Miss Rogers.
Any place where I can be as far away as possible from the highly articulate, oh so sophisticated, bon vivant of America's winers and diners, Mr. Bartlett Finchley.
Miss Rogers, you surely not serious.
You've even got me talking like you. But I'll tell you what you won't get me to do. You won't turn me into a female Finchley with a pinched, scornful little heart and a mean, petty, yellow, jaundiced view of everybody else in the world.
Miss Rogers, please. Please don't leave.
I beg your pardon?
I wish you'd reconsider.
Speak up. I can't hear you.
I wish you'd stay for a little bit longer.
You what?
I don't mean to work. All that can wait.
Then why?
I was just thinking, well, we might have dinner.
You're not serious.
Or something, perhaps a cocktail.
You are serious.
I am.
I'm not very hungry, and it's too early for cocktails. What's your trouble, Mr. Finchley?
You sound like a half-hearted orphan whose idea of a lark is a square dance at the local grange. I'm merely suggesting to you, Miss Rogers, that we observe the simple social amenities between an employer and a secretary. I thought we'd go out, even take in a show or something.
How very sweet, Mr. Finchley. Thank you, but no, thank you. Tonight, I'm taking a hog calling lesson. You know what a hog is, don't you, Mr. Finchley? He's a terribly bright fathead who writes for gourmet magazines and condescends to let a few other slobs exist in the world just to take his rudeness and run back and forth at his beck and call. Good day, Mr. Finchley.
Miss Rogers, before you go, have a cup of coffee or anything at all. If you must know, I'd like very much not to be alone for a while.
Are you ill?
No, not as such.
Then what's the trouble?
Does there have to be trouble because I'm desperately tired. I've hardly slept for 4 nights. And the very thought of being alone now, well, frankly, it's intolerable. Things have been happening, Miss Rogers. Very odd things.
Go on.
That TV set in the corner. It goes on late at night. It just goes on all by itself.
I see you got it fixed.
And the clock radio I kept in my bedroom, it went on and off, too, of its own accord, whenever I tried to catch up on my sleep. I'll let you in on a little secret. There's a conspiracy afoot in this house, Miss Rogers.
Really, Mr. Finchley?
That's exactly what it is. A conspiracy. The television set, the radio, electrical devices of every sort. That miserable car I drive. Even the clock on the mantelpiece.
There's no clock on the mantel.
I know. I threw it away.
Why would you do that?
What I'm getting at, Miss Rogers, is that for as long as I've lived, I've never been able to satisfactorily operate machines.
Mr. Finchley, I think you ought to see a doctor.
A doctor? Oh, the universal panacea of dreamless idiots. If you're depressed, see a doctor. If you're happy, see a doctor. If the mortgage is too high and the salary too low, see a doctor. You, Miss Rogers, you see a doctor. I am a logical, rational, intelligent man. I know what I see. I know what I hear. And for the past 3 months, I've been sharing this house with a collection of wheezy Frankenstein monsters whose whole purpose is to destroy me. Now, what do you think of that?
I think you're terribly ill. I think you need medical attention.
You obviously haven't heard a word I've said.
I think you've got a very bad case of nerves from lack of sleep.
By no choice of my own, I assure you.
And I think that way down deep, you yourself realize that these things are nothing more than delusions.
Now I know what you really think of me. That I'm to be pitied. That I'm a poor wretch, not in my right mind. That...
Think what you like.
How are you?
You don't need company, Mr. Finchley. You need analysis.
You're no even a cog or robotic machine yourself. You haven't an iota of compassion or sympathy.
Mr. Finchley, please, let go of my arm.
I'll let you go when I get ready to let you go.
Mr. Finchley, let's not make an ugly scene here. Now, come on, let me go, Mr. Finchley. Let go of me!
And don't come back.
With distinct pleasure and manifest relief.
Don't ever come back. I'll send you your check. I will pay my machines, so it follows that no empty-headed little secretary with a mechanical expression is going to get away with anything either.
Mr. Finchley, in this conspiracy you suffer, this mortal combat between you and the appliances, I hope you get licked.
Good riddance. What? More ready. You can turn this on any time if you like it. Now, let's see what you've written. Get out of here, Finchley. Get out of here, Finchley. You tell me to get out of my own house. You're a machine, a silly machine, an inanimate object. That's it. This is war. You're not going to intimidate me. Did you hear what I said? You're not going to get away with it, you machines.
Nice day, huh?
Define your terms.
I was only making conversation, Mr. Finchley.
Just see to it that this elevator takes me all the way to my destination without a mishap.
19th floor.
I'm surprised I got here in one piece.
Pardon, sir?
No matter. You wouldn't understand. You couldn't, since you choose to collaborate with these infernal contraptions all day long.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Finchley.
Is it?
I just meant...
I know what you meant. The warm, languid weather outside. Fluffy white clouds scudding across a pale blue sky. The sort of day when a young woman's thoughts turn to romantic mush. Disgusting.
Mr. Finchley, I assure you I...
Well, I'll have none of it. Do you hear?
Excuse me. Editorial department?
Ah, another telephone. Mr. Alexander Graham Bell's most loathsome invention. It undoubtedly knows my whereabouts at all times.
Please hold. Mr. Finchley, did you want to see the editor?
No need. I simply wish to drop off my manuscripts for the next issue, the reviews and the personal opinion column. Oh, and kindly note, the final pages are handwritten this time.
Oh, did your computer crash?
By no means. My typewriting apparatus is in the shop. Actually, I prefer this method. It allows me to make last-minute revisions directly from my hand to your eye, as it were.
I'll tell them it's here.
Then I shall take my leave. Out into the blinding white heat of the cruelest month.
Reflux Publications. Iron Gourmet Magazine. Just a moment, please.
You there! Why are you touching my automobile?
I'm writing you a citation, sir.
For what reason?
Overtime parking.
What?
The meter ran out.
That's impossible.
You can mail in the fine or pay in person.
There's something wrong with the meter. Surely you can see that.
I see a red flag. That's a violation.
But I deposited the correct coins.
Maybe you did. Just not enough, that's all.
On the contrary, I've been gone for 13 minutes. I inserted coinage worth exactly 13 minutes.
Well, it doesn't look like it.
Then the meter's not working properly.
Take it easy. You don't want to break city property now, do you?
It's already broken. Definitely and absolutely. It runs too fast. Any fool can see that it did not register a full 30 minutes after swallowing my money.
If you want to contest it, court hours are 8 to 5, plus night court on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
This is a gross miscarriage of justice.
I'm just doing my job, mister. Here's your citation. Have a nice day.
Mechanical illumination designed to make my life a living hell. One side, madam. You, sir. Move your vehicle out of my way.
Watch it, Mac.
Watch what exactly, you imbecile? This is my lane.
Park it, Pop.
Oh, folly. Insolent.
Get that rail crap off the road.
Stand aside. Bartlett Finchley is at the wheel. I earned my first driving license while that bully was still in kindergarten. The barbarians are at the gates. Yet another red light, waiting for some mother and her toddler to cross the street. Oh, look at them. Stuffed to bursting on cheeseburgers.
What's wrong with you? Are you blind?
I did nothing. Simply placed my foot on the brake pedal.
On the gas, you mean?
The car moved forward under its own power.
Yeah, sure. You trying to kill somebody?
I saw the whole thing. He did try to kill you.
On the contrary, the motor car obviously malfunctioned.
We're in a crosswalk here.
Get his license number.
You do that. The light is now green. Do I have your permission to proceed?
Get that piece of crap out of here.
Gladly. Pardon me, attendant. If I may be so bold,
Yeah,
when will you be finished with the repairs?
on the old four-door?
Soon, I trust. You've had more than enough time.
Right. Parked over there.
Ah, my congratulations. And now for the bad news. What is this going to cost me?
Nothing.
For a brake overhaul? You mean no charge for the labor? I'll consider that a professional courtesy.
I mean, no charge, period.
So you haven't completed the work? My good man, I can't wait around this gas station all day.
There's nothing wrong with it. I checked the brakes, transmission, the works. It's an oldie, but there ain't nothing wrong with that car.
Nothing?
She's a classic. You know, you could sell that baby for good money if you want.
But I distinctly felt the machine roll forward under its own volition.
All the same, it's working perfect. Real cherry set of wheels you got there. I know a collector looking for something like that. I'll give you, say, $900.
$900? The hubcaps cost more than that.
Okay, $1,000.
Give me the keys.
You say so. Here you go, Mr. Finchley. But it's not gonna last forever, you know. You ought to get back what you put into it. Buy yourself a nice new car. If you can hang on a minute, I'll call the guy.
And waste even more of my precious time? Good day.
Wait up!
Ah, now you deduce what's wrong, as I'm about to drive away.
1100. Cash on the barrelhead.
go tighten your fan belts or whatever it is you do in this incompetent establishment. Knuckle-dragging dolt. At least I can hear some decent music.
Get out of here, Finchley.
More abuse.
Just go, Finchley. We don't want you here. Pack up and get out. Before it's too late.
Miss Moore, please. Oh, is that you, Agatha? Bartlett Finchley here. Yes, my dear, it has been a long time. Too long. Which indeed prompts this call. How about, dinner this evening? Yes, with yours truly. Why, at the restaurant of your choosing, of course. Oh, no, you're quite mistaken. There are establishments that meet my standards. In this city, well, I'm sure there are. Well, it is short notice. But yes, I see. Some other time then. I'll call you again. You have my pledge on it. Not at all. Good evening to you. Mrs. Donnelly, please. Pauline, is that you? Oh, and how's my favorite young widow this evening? Bartlett Finchley. You remember? Yes. I'm tip-top. And you? Splendid. Say, listen, Pauline, I was wondering, sort of spur of the moment and all that, but oh... I see. Yes, perfectly. That's quite all right. No, I hadn't heard the good news. Well, I'm delighted for you. Truly delighted. In June. I'll send you a wedding gift. Of course. Good night. It's the telephone. I'm sure of it. Distorting my voice, twisting my words. What other explanation is there? An army of forces dedicated to embarrassing me, inconveniencing me, and generally making my life as miserable as possible. How much longer, may I ask?
The phone's all fixed, Mr. Finchley. One in the bedroom, too.
So you say?
Yeah, she's operating all right now. Had to replace a handset, though. Shouldn't give you any more trouble.
I'm deeply indebted. Convey my best to Mr. Bell for his reliable invention.
Yeah, sure.
Is there something else?
Well, you tripped over the cord. Is that what you said?
If that's what I said, you may rest assured that's what happened.
Well, you're the boss, Mr. Finchley. Reason I asked, though, those wires sure look like they were yanked out.
Do they now? Proving what a vast storehouse of knowledge the phone company has yet to acquire.
Okay. So long, then. Have a nice night.
I shall certainly endeavor to do so.
One thing.
Yes?
The thing about phones, though.
What?
Well, you see, they're just like any other piece of electronics. You have to be careful. Treat them right. Because if you don't, they won't do what you want. And like people, I guess. Kick them to the curb, and they won't be there when you need them. You get back what you give out. But, well, I figure you know that already, don't you, Mr. Finchley? A smart man like you.
Good night. So be it. Another evening alone. This is well. Is this way I'll have the company of a person of quality.
And welcome once again to Dinner for One on the Eating Channel. Tonight we prepare a bright and breezy repast guaranteed to liven up any kitchen.
Oh, spare Boulderdash. Not worthy of a review. Cretins and halfwits at every turn. Well, who needs you? Who needs any of you? Mr. Bartlett Finchley is going out on the town. He's going to have a wonderful evening with some good wine, and who knows what lovely lady I may meet during my nocturnal meanderings. Who knows indeed? Dinner jacket, white shirt, and the red cravat. No, blue. Or perhaps the polka dots. Yes. This will do. Now, for a quick shave before dressing. Who do I see in the mirror there? Who can that attractive man be? Don't tell me. It's Bartlett Finchley. Good features. Strong chin. Bred from quality stock. All I need to do is whisk off the stubble. Ow! Bit me. The shaver actually bit me. I'm bleeding. Get away, you filthy bugger. Finchley. Who's there? Finchley. Look in the mirror. What do you really see? Huh? Who's speaking? Take a good look. You're ugly, Finchley. It's not my face. It can't be. An ugly, dried up old man. Do yourself a favor. Do us all a favor. Use the string razor. Stop speaking at once. You have no right. Hello, operator. Get me the police. Someone's in my house. Hello? Hello?
Finchley, get out of here.
Stop! Stop this!
You Finchley?
Oh, thank God you're here, officer.
At your car?
What?
The car in the street.
Yes, it is. What about it?
She rolled down the driveway, almost hit a kid on a bike.
Yeah, my son.
The brake was on.
The emergency brake? Better get it fixed.
I just did. This afternoon.
Don't you believe him, officer?
Car rolled right down the driveway and into the street. You're lucky it didn't hit somebody. Then you'd really be in hot water. Got the keys?
They're in the other room.
Better get them then. I want to put on some clothes while you're at it.
Look at him standing there in his underwear.
I have a robe on, madam.
Some robe?
It's called a dressing gown.
And tie it shut. I'll write you up for indecent exposure, too.
Oh, yes, of course.
All right, fella, you better pull her back in the garage. I'll give you a warning this time. Have those brakes checked first thing in the morning, understand?
Perfectly. There is another matter I'd like to discuss with you, officer, now that you're here.
And what's all the noise in his house? He's always throwing stuff, yelling at the top of his lungs.
That true?
No, I fell, that's all. I tripped and fell on the stairs.
That why your face is bleeding?
Precisely.
What's the other matter?
Matter?
You said you have something to discuss.
It's difficult to explain. You wouldn't understand.
Eating then, Mr. Finchley.
So is he gonna move his car or what?
In one moment, madam. For now, you may remain on my property until I return with the keys. At that time, I should like you to be out of my yard. Otherwise, I shall solicit the aid of this gendarme to forcibly eject you. Idiots. I need a drink. Perhaps one more. That's better. But if the car can't be trusted, how can I go out this evening? I'm a prisoner in this madhouse. Miss Rogers? Edith? Is that you? Yes, of course. You had second thoughts, and now you've come back. Where are you? You're not here, then. Who's typing? Get out of here, Finchley. Get out of here, Finchley. Is that all you can write, you infernal machine? Who turned you on?
Get out of here, Finchley. Get out of here, Finchley.
No. You get out of my television set. What's that? A clock. I smashed it this afternoon. Smashed it to smithereens. And you. I destroyed you too. Oh, you won't get me. You won't get me. I won't let you. Help me, please. Someone. It's Bartlett Finchley, your neighbor. Let me in.
It's that crazy man again. Don't let him in, Mom. He tried to kill me.
I didn't. The car did. Don't you understand? Open your door.
You get away from here.
You can't follow me. You're only a car. My car. Stop. There's no one at the wheel. You must stop. I demand it. Back to my house. Then you can't follow me to the house. Locked. Wait. I have the keys after all. I can't get in here. I'm safe now. Safe. Oh, where's the light switch? Burned out. Just as well. I'll hide here in the dark until the clock goes away. Yes, that's it.
Get out of here! Get out of here, Finchley! Now!
Away! I'll sneak away. Go somewhere, anywhere out of this town, far, far away. What? Those lights. Blind. I can't see a thing.
I have your 1019 on Woodlawn Drive. What is the status?
Cancel that call for backup. Paramedics have arrived, waiting their decision.
Do you have a positive ID?
Finchley, first name B for Bartlett. Stand by. 10-4.
That man.
He was running in his bathroom.
Never saw anything like it.
What's his condition?
Flatline. He's gone.
I put him down as DOA your arrival. Heart attack?
That's what it looks like. What happened here, you know?
Neighbors said they heard him shouting about something last night. He sounded scared.
What about?
Well, whatever it was, he took it with him.
Was he out here?
Right here on the porch, slumped down against the door, eyes wide open like he saw a ghost. I figured he was on his way to his car.
Which one?
At the curb. Never got to move it like I told him.
Must have been drunk. You can smell it on him.
Good thing he forgot his car keys or he might have done some real damage.
Yeah. Not now, though. Poor old guy.
He was a royal pain, let me tell you. That's all over now.
Maybe you did see something. Who knows?
Maybe so.
Yes, maybe so. It could just be that Mr. Bartlett Finchley succumbed to a simple heart attack and a set of delusions that were self-generated. It could just be that he was tormented beyond the breaking point by an imagination as sharp as his wit and as pointed as his dislikes. But as reported by those in attendance, this is one explanation that has definitely left the premises with the deceased. For now, look for it filed under M for machines in the Twilight Zone. There is a fifth dimension beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow. It lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
Hey there, Will.
Morning, Mr. Reagan.
Reagan? Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I want to open the gate?
Yeah, I guess it is. A good one. Want to let me in on it?
Let you in on what?
You called me Will.
Yeah, so?
So, my name's Harold, you know that.
Since when?
How long you been working here?
Oh, long time.
All that time, I've always been Harold. Some people call me Shorty, but never Will.
And I'm Arthur. My wife calls me Artie sometimes, but if you want to be Harold, that's okay, bud.
Oh, I get it. You want I should call you Arthur from now on instead of Mr. Reagan? You got it. Guess that makes us even.
Will, Harold, do you a favor?
What's that?
Leave the parking lot open, then take the rest of the day off.
Okay, I'll bite. What for?
You must be tired. Didn't get much sleep last night, huh? Have some breakfast, cup of coffee, see if that helps.
Helps what?
To get your head on straight. You can open the gate now, Harold. Or whatever your name is.
Sure, if you say so.
Morning, Sally.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Curtis. I just got here myself. I hope I'm not late.
No, I thought I'd better get an early start. I have to leave about 3.
You do?
My wife and I haven't gotten a thing for Tina's birthday yet.
That's right. The party's Saturday afternoon, isn't it?
If my daughter can last that long.
Excited?
She sure is. It's all she can think about. Are the Matson contracts ready?
Right here. I finished them before I left last night.
Good. I'll look them over in my office. Well, back to the grindstone.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I almost forgot. Would you call the airline for me? See if you can get those reservations changed from Monday to Saturday.
Will do. Straining at the leash to get out of town?
You bet. It's the first real vacation Marion and I have had in years. So I figure, why lose a whole weekend before starting out?
I don't blame you.
Saturday night, San Francisco, here we come. Hold all calls for a few minutes, will you? I want to tell my wife.
Certainly, sir.
Hope her mother can take Tina after the party. Oh, for heaven's sake. Sally! Sally! I can't get a dial tone.
What's he doing?
I don't know.
This isn't in the script.
Sally, I said... Who are you? What are all you people doing in...
Cut!
Where did Sally go? What happened to the wall and...
I said cut. All right, everybody, take 5.
Will somebody please tell me what is going on?
Reality. The quality of being real or having an actual existence. A matter of interest to philosophers throughout the ages. The definition comes from the dictionary, and it directly concerns one Arthur Curtis, 36 years old, and a successful businessman. Or so he believes. Mr. Curtis is about to discover that the line between reality and unreality can be very thin indeed. In fact, under certain conditions, it may be less than thin. It may be invisible. At least in the Twilight Zone.
And now, The Twilight Zone and our story, A World of Difference, starring Luke Perry with Stacy Keach as your narrator.
I asked you a question. All of you. What are you doing here? Get out of my office.
Come on, Jerry.
That's not my name.
Is it so hard to make a phone call? Lose the ad-libs.
Who are you?
Remember Jerry? Marty Fisher, your friendly neighborhood TV director.
What are you talking about?
How soon they forget.
Sally, what is all this?
Something go wrong, Mr. Reagan?
Why are you sitting there like that with your feet up? Take them off the desk at once.
I thought we were on a break.
We are. Why don't you go to your dressing room while I talk to Jerry?
Sure, Marty. Call me when you're ready.
Watch the cables, Miss Lawson.
Of course I will, Kelly. You'd think I'd never been on a set before.
What are all these lights for? I can hardly see.
Pretty hard to shoot without him, Jerry. This isn't exactly verite.
That camera, what's it for? Will somebody please tell me?
I'm warning you, Jerry.
Oh? And who do you think you are?
That's funny. I was about to ask you the same thing. Why don't you wise up and cut the dramatics?
Dramatics?
They won't take much more of this. You're very close to the edge.
The edge of what?
I like that. Really into it. What is it? The method?
I don't think so.
Not the method. Who'd you study with? Sandy Meisner? Right? No, wait a minute. Stella Adler. Well, I used to be at the Institute too, and the first rule is don't break character. So, what do you say? Shall we take it again?
I don't understand what you're saying.
It's a gag, just a little gag. You know these New York actors.
All right, get him some coffee. Kelly?
Yeah?
Coffee over here, please. Black.
Coming right up.
Okay, Jerry, let's forget about it. Get your scene done. The front office doesn't like it when they're overscheduled.
Overscheduled? Not this show.
Then let's try it again. Back to the set.
Set?
Listen, I went out on a limb for you. The whole agency did.
What agency?
Just do your lines.
Are we ready here?
We're ready. Now, Jerry.
All right, one more time. You're gonna call your wife, tell her to meet you at 3:15.
How did you know that?
Got all your lines down? Where's your script?
What are you talking about?
Easy, Jerry. Don't burn yourself out. Places, everyone. Break's over.
Where am I?
In your office. It's morning. You just got here.
This can't be my office. It only looks like my office. The window isn't even real.
What's he doing?
The city outside. It's a painting. What is this, a joke?
Jerry.
What are you people watching me for? I don't know you. I don't know any of you.
Don't let him get away.
He's not going anywhere.
He's not on his mark.
Maybe you can shoot around him for a while.
I don't want to shoot around him, Sam. We've got 7 pages to do before lunch.
He'll come through, Marty. We never had any trouble with him before.
What's he doing now?
The scene, I told you.
Get ready to follow him. Roll sound and action.
Still dead.
Cut! Where are you going, Jerry?
Stop calling me that. It's not my name.
Sure, if that's what you want.
Is there another telephone in here?
Sit down, Jerry.
One that works?
Jerry, if I have to phone Brinkley on this, you're dead.
Do whatever you like. Just leave me alone.
You don't look so good. How do you feel?
I felt fine when I got here.
Please, sit down.
What's that on your face? Sweat? Kelly!
Yeah?
Call for an ambulance and make it fast.
Yes, sir. Shall I ask the front office to authorize it?
Of course not. If they find out, there's no telling what they'd do. Suspend production, probably. Go on, go!
Right away.
Jerry, let's go to your dressing room. You can lie down.
Where's the nearest telephone?
Jerry, we're trying to help you.
My name is Arthur Curtis. Take your hands off me. I'm getting out of here.
Did you hear that? Arthur Curtis.
Is this a real telephone?
Looks like it.
All right, everybody. 1 hour for lunch.
Is it hooked up?
Should be.
The number. What's the number?
Search me.
Operator, number please.
I don't know. I can't think.
I'll connect you with information.
Yes, please.
Directory information.
Hello. Would you give me the number of Arthur Curtis? 22437 Ventnor Road, Woodland Hills.
Checking.
On Ventnor. Ventner.
I have no listing for a Curtis at that address.
What? You must be mistaken.
Jerry?
Listen, it's my own home. I'm Arthur Curtis. I just can't remember the number at the moment. Will you?
If it's an unlisted number.
It's not an unlisted number. At least I don't think it is. Look, would you try again? I know there's a phone there.
I'm sorry, sir.
Jerry, put the phone down.
You're wrong, operator. Connect me with your supervisor.
Let's go to your dressing room.
Listen.
Give me the phone.
What are you doing?
You're not yourself. You're sick.
Get your hands off me.
I'm trying to help.
Well, I don't need it. I'm getting out of here.
Where are you going?
Home.
Jerry, somebody stop him.
Hey, watch it, lady.
Are you out of your mind? You're drunk again, Jerry.
Let go of me.
Look, I don't care if they bounce you.
I don't care if you never work again for the rest of your worthless life. You're going to pay me what the judge tells you to pay me, or so help me, I'll put you so far behind bars, they'll never find you again.
There you are. Mrs. Reagan.
I am not Mrs. Reagan anymore.
Sorry. Could I speak to you in private?
I haven't the time.
It's about Jerry.
He's coming with me. He'll be back in time for the afternoon filming.
That isn't exactly what
Excuse me, but I need your car.
What do you think you're doing? You're not driving.
I've just called for an ambulance. Jerry's having a nervous breakdown.
How convenient for him.
Would you two get out of the way, please?
I'm not joking, Mrs.
Miss, from now on.
If you won't move...
Slide over.
I don't have time to argue.
I said...
Get in if you have to. I'm getting out of this place.
You pig-headed...
Better fasten your seatbelt.
Slow down.
Don't touch the wheel.
I'll do more than touch it. I'm not going to let you crash this car. It's mine now.
Get your hands off the brake.
There. Now will you let me drive?
I'm warning you.
You're warning me? Give me those keys. Now.
Stop! Look, please, whoever you are.
I said I'll drive. If you want to kill yourself, you'll have to wait. First, I'm going to bleed you, Jerry. I'm going to bleed you dry. Every bank account, every residual.
Now listen. I don't know who you think I am, but you're wrong. You're wrong. My name is Curtis. Arthur Curtis. And I don't have the slightest idea what you're talking about. Right now, I'm going to...
Oh, cut the histrionics. If you think you can chisel your way out of pain with a cheap trick like this...
I'm gonna turn the key again. And I'm driving to my home in Woodland Hills. Once we get there, you can have your car back. Do you understand?
I told you to cut the act.
No act. My name is Arthur Curtis. My wife's name is Marion. I have a daughter named Tina. And I live at 22437 Ventnor Road in Woodland Hills.
I mean it, Jerry.
My name is Arthur Curtis. My wife's name is...
I said cut. Cut!
I don't understand. I've made this turn twice now.
Let me know when the grand tour is over, will you?
I don't know where I am. And yet I must. This is my neighborhood. I live here.
Do you?
I have, for years. Ever since I bought the house. But my street, it's just not here.
What do you want, Jerry? An Academy Award?
I've told you, my name is...
Oh, can it, will you? Who are you trying to convince? You may as well give it up. You never had a less receptive audience.
Why do you refuse to listen to me?
Go ahead, then. Play it out. Make a complete idiot of yourself. I couldn't care less.
I'm trying to find my house. Is that so hard to comprehend?
Well, you're not going to, no matter how hard you try.
And why is that?
Simple. Because there's no such thing as Ventnor Road.
Keep quiet. I'm trying to think.
And what's more, there never was, except in your dreams.
What's in the glove box?
That's none of your business. This is my car now.
There must be a map. Let me have it, please.
Get your hands out of there.
I'm just trying to... Tina! There she is!
Who's Tina?
My daughter!
Another little secret you never told me about. When did that happen?
See her? Skipping down the sidewalk?
Oh, spare me.
Hi, honey! Over here! It's Daddy!
This is too much. You're going to get us both arrested.
Tina, honey! Come here!
I didn't have anything to do with this, remember that.
Tina? Thank God.
Leave me alone.
But you're not Tina. Sorry, little girl, I thought...
You scared me. You're a bad man.
Get in.
But that dress... I thought she was...
I said get in. Or would you rather go to jail for attempted kidnapping? You should have let me drive in the first place. None of this would have happened.
Why are you stopping?
Because this is the end of the line.
Here?
Oh, don't tell me you're going to play surprised.
But I've never seen this house before.
You just won't quit, will you? That's Brinkley's car out front. What does he want?
Who's Brinkley?
Pound of flesh, probably. Well, he'll have to wait his turn. Coming?
I can't stay here. I have to go.
I said I'd get you back for the afternoon shooting.
I mean, home.
You are home.
Who's home?
Move it, Buster. Or would you rather sit out here? Fine with me. Suit yourself, but I promise you, you'll regret it.
Where are we?
Come on inside. Fix yourself a drink. A little hair of the dog? Maybe that'll do it.
Jerry.
Who are you?
Better be nice to Sam. He's still the vice president of your agency.
Where have you been?
I'm not sure.
Did Sam call you?
More than an hour ago. Said he'd left the studio, walked out.
Stumbled is more like it.
What's all this about?
The studio?
First things first, Jerry. Come into the study.
Why?
Nora, we need to do some damage control.
We sure do.
Can't this wait?
I've waited long enough. I want my money now before he goes off on his next binge.
Now look, I've explained to this woman that I'm not who you all seem to think I am.
Frankly, I don't know what to think. But if we don't smooth this over right now, today, the network won't renew your contract. And that will cost us all money.
My name is Curtis. I live...
Jerry, stop it!
Stop what? Would you rather I lie to you?
You don't seem to realize the position you're in.
Where do you hide the checkbook these days?
I beg your pardon?
I'll find it if I have to tear the house down.
Excuse me. I have to get out of here.
Jerry. Jerry! I'm going to lay it on the line. If you lose this part, we'll have to drop you as a client. We can't cover for you anymore. It's beyond that. Way beyond.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but you're mistaken.
All right. Look, they can shoot around you today. I'll tell them you came down with something. They won't buy it, but we'll do our best to make it stick. But come tomorrow, you've got to be there, Jerry, bright and early, with bells on.
I don't know what's going on. God, help me. I don't know what's going on.
You said that.
Jerry, enough is enough.
I tell you, I
found it. Get over here. Now.
Leave me alone, please.
Nora, he doesn't look so good. Maybe we should take him to Cedars.
You're going to sign this check, Jerry. Right now. Before you can pull anything else. Go on. Pick up the pen. That's it. Then we'll see about the state of your precious health.
Please, I'm asking you.
And I'm telling you. Sign it, Jerry. I want what you owe me.
His hands are shaking.
Oh, no. He's not going to get out of it that easily. I'll fill in my name in the amount. Just sign Gerald Reagan. G-E-R-A-L-D...
That's not my name.
R-A-I-G-A-N. In case you've forgotten how to spell, too.
But I've never heard that name before in my life.
Maybe you should lie down.
Would you both back off? This has gone far enough. I am not Gerald Reagan. My name is Arthur Curtis. Do you hear me? Arthur Curtis. I work for... Wait a minute. I'll prove it. Operator, I'd like the number for Davis Morton and Company, 189 Brand Street, Los Angeles. Yes, I'll hold. But make it fast, will you? Of course there is! I should know! I work there! Look, I've been with them for 7 years! Don't tell me that! Don't...
Here, lean on me.
Sarah Bernhardt.
Look at his eyes. I don't think he's faking it.
Awfully good timing, if you ask me.
Help me to get him to the other room.
What? What is happening to me?
Jer?
What are you doing?
Just closing the blinds.
Don't bother.
I was hoping you'd catch a few winks. Feeling better?
You don't believe me, do you?
It doesn't matter what I believe. You've been overworked, trying to wrap the season. Must have been a terrible strain.
Season. I take it that's supposed to mean something.
If it doesn't, we're all in trouble. Would you like anything? Some lunch? If Nora won't make it, I'll order out.
No, thanks. I don't have much of an appetite.
You need help, Jerry. It's not in my province, but I've known you a long time, and I hate for this to happen. It's not necessary, you know. It really isn't. Can't you see what's happened?
Why don't you tell me?
You know what this is? A script.
For what?
It's all right here. Take a look. Cast of characters. Arthur Curtis, 36. A young business executive. Happily married.
Let me see that. Curtis lives in Woodland Hills, California with his wife and young daughter. Where did you get this?
It's yours. From the dresser here, where you left it after studying your lines last night. Go on, keep reading.
He is married to Marion Curtis, 33. charming young woman, typical of that efficient breed which can manage a house and family and still have ample time for...
Ring a bell?
Who wrote this?
That's neither here nor there. Some hack, probably. The point is, the only information you have about Arthur Curtis is what's written here.
That's crazy.
Jerry, I really do understand. Sometimes I'd like to escape myself, get away from this turmoil. The long hours, the early calls, to a simpler, sweeter existence. It's only natural.
You're telling me it was all a delusion? That I'm really somebody named Gerald Reagan, a dissolute, pitiful...
A sweet, unhappy man. A square peg in a round hole who never should have moved to Hollywood. Burdened with that harpy in there. Jerry Reagan, who wanted to be a serious actor once. Trying to make a living and find a little happiness. That's all.
No. I won't accept that. The life I remember. It was real.
I wish it were. For your sake. I wish it were. I have to go, Jerry, and report into the agency. Try to rest and forget about the series. You won't have to go back. I just spoke to the studio a few minutes ago. They're canceling production.
Production on what?
You may as well give me the script. I'll toss it for you. It doesn't matter now. I'm sorry, but Arthur Curtis is dead.
Well, what's his story?
I don't think it's a story. Not this time.
All better? Or should I fix him some milk and cookies?
He's had it. Withdrawn from the playing field. I can't say I blame him.
Go on, then. Get out of here. I'll whip him into shape. If he thinks a little breakdown is going to let him off the hook.
Wait!
Jerry!
Well, what do you know? It walks.
Out of my way.
Yes, sir.
What is it, Jerry?
I've got to go back.
I told you it's too late for that. It's finished.
No. I've got to get back to my office.
If you mean the set, they're probably tearing it down already. And as far as I'm concerned...
But they mustn't. Don't you see? I'll never get back if they tear down the only connection I have to...
Jerry, knock it off!
I can't do that.
Jerry! Careful, Jerry, that's my car!
Name?
Open the gate.
Oh, that's you, Mr. Reagan?
I'm in a hurry.
Oh, sure. Nice car. What happened to your...
Now, Harold.
Well, see, your name's not on the list anymore. I mean, Reagan's not. That other one you gave me. What did you say it was? Curtis something?
I don't have time for this.
Hey, did you get fired? Real sorry to hear it. Or maybe you quit. Either way, I'm not supposed to...
Stand back.
Huh? No, I was just saying...
What in the... Hey! You can't do that! Put that down! What do you think you're doing?
What'd you say?
Watch your feet. That's my sofa!
Yeah?
Where are you taking it?
Back to props.
You can't.
Yeah? I got a work order right here to strike the set.
You mean my office?
Which office?
The low building with the rose bushes. 189.
Nah. This is from stage 23.
Which way is that?
It's over there. Hanging right at the commissary.
Take the wall down?
Not yet.
Get the desk and chairs.
Where do you want them?
Hold on! Hold on!
Pardon me, Mr. Reagan?
Don't touch the desk yet. Or the chair.
No? How come?
I have to get something.
Oh, sure. Go ahead. It'll take us a while. Too bad, huh? Nice set. Real nice. Kinda sorry to see it go.
Sally? Are you still here? No matter. Where to start? There must be a way. There has to be.
Mr. Reagan?
Who?
It's Kelly. I thought I saw you come in.
What happened to my books?
Books? Oh, sent back to props by now.
And my papers? And file cabinets? Even the photos on the desk? They were pictures of my family, my wife and daughter.
Were they? You mean they were real? Give me a few minutes. Maybe I can track them down.
Do they have to do this?
I'm afraid so. The studio needs the space.
Career. A whole life packed up while you're out, shipped off to God knows where. I had no idea. I thought it would last.
Nothing lasts in this town. You know that.
But I thought...
You thought you were different. The exception to the rule? Well, I don't blame you. It's easy to fall into that. You see what happens to everyone else, but you never think it'll happen to you. Human nature, I guess. But, you know, the next thing will come along.
And what will that be?
Beats me, but it always does. You have to have a little faith.
And the things we collect over the years and leave behind.
Oh, somebody else will get some use out of it. It was never really ours in the first place, was it? Can't exactly take it with you.
No. No, I guess you can't.
They're ready to take the walls down now. You might want to sit somewhere else.
I thought if I got here in time...
Thought what?
Nothing. You go on. I'll be out of here in a minute.
Just following orders, Mr. Reagan. Nothing personal.
No. Nothing personal at all. Marion. Don't leave me. Don't leave me here.
Mr. Curtis?
Sally?
Mr. Curtis, oh, there you are. I thought you'd gone home.
What?
Somebody's here to see you. Go ahead, Mrs. Curtis.
Arthur?
Marion!
Honey, I don't understand.
You don't?
Where have you been? I've been phoning all day.
Marion, is it really you?
Well, who else would it be? Honestly, Sally kept saying you were out. Out? What does that mean? She couldn't imagine where you'd gone. She didn't see you leave.
I had some business to attend to. I got lost on the way back.
You did? How do you mean?
It doesn't matter. I'm back now.
Oh, just let me sit down for a second. These new shoes are... Why, where's your sofa?
I won't need it anymore. Marion, let's get out of here.
But I just got here. I didn't think you'd mind. I thought you might want to have dinner on the way home.
That sounds wonderful.
Oh, and I wanted to tell you, I got something for Tina's party. That doll she's so crazy about.
Now, Marion, let's go right now.
Artie, are you all right?
Yes, I am now.
You're looking a little tired. A hard day?
Very.
Where were you?
It's a long story.
Mr. Curtis.
Sally?
What is the matter with you, dear? You look as if you've seen a ghost.
Leaving now?
Did you make that call to the airline?
Yes, sir. They sent the tickets over this afternoon. I have them right here.
Let me see.
Plane tickets for our trip?
Are they all right?
Yes, they're perfect.
Ready to strike the office. Get those lamps and tables out of there.
Okay. Honey, you look so peculiar. Is something the matter?
Can you hear that?
Hear what?
Over here, boys.
Please, Marion, let's go on our vacation right away. Let's not wait.
What is wrong with you?
Nothing, sweetheart. Just let me hold you. I don't want to lose you.
Not much chance of that. Oh, Artie, I've never seen you like this.
We'll take Tina to your mother's and go right to the airport.
But I'm not packed.
We'll pick up what we need when we get there. Oh, Marion, it's very, very important.
Well, if it matters that much to you, I suppose.
Then let's go, now.
Hi there, Mr. Brinkley.
Have you broken it down yet?
Not just about to.
Has Reagan been here?
He was a minute ago.
Where?
The office said.
And he's not there now?
Nope.
You didn't see him leave?
I didn't. Any of you guys see where Reagan went?
Nope.
Sure didn't.
Would you look in his dressing room?
Sure thing.
Well?
Not in his dressing room.
Then, I wonder where he's gone. Wherever it is, I hope he finds what he's looking for.
Flight 23 departing at Gate 5. Last call, Flight 23 to San Francisco.
Reality. The quality of being real or having an actual experience. Words of definition from a book we call the dictionary. Words that fail to recognize man's gift for creating realities of his own. Realities perhaps beyond the measurement of science, and yet actual in their own right. Realities existing in that vast and timeless middle ground between light and shadow, the dimension of imagination, also known as the Twilight Zone.
More from the Twilight Zone after this.
You are about to enter another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. A journey into a wondrous land of imagination. Next stop, the Twilight Zone. Hi, this is Stacy Keach. I'd like to take a moment to tell you about our Twilight Zone website at twilightzoneradio.com. At twilightzoneradio.com, you'll find the latest information on these Twilight Zone radio dramas, including behind-the-scenes photographs, plus the newest product releases, trivia contests, ways to contact us, other Twilight Zone-related info and merchandise, plus links to other fascinating websites. So make your next stop twilightzoneradio.com.
Visit twilightzoneradio.com to purchase these Twilight Zone radio dramas on cassette and CD, or call toll-free 1-866-989-ZONE. That's 1-866-989-9663.
Unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound, a dimension of sight, a dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Is running a little behind schedule.
Your typist?
You know I don't use a typewriter.
So get a word processor or a laptop.
Never. Dictation is the only way. Helps me get the dialogue right.
What's your number?
Who?
Your typist. I'll send a message.
Not until I have a chance to look it over. Make any last-minute corrections.
The network wants pages, Greg. They don't have to be perfect.
Just give me a couple of more days.
I can't stall them much longer. They want to shoot Hannibal's animals in the spring.
They doubt me?
They doubt their own grandmother. They had her under contract. They've got a lot of writing on this.
Well, you tell them I'm not some Hollywood hack. I'm a legitimate writer. They're lucky to have my services.
And you're lucky to have a six-figure deal. This isn't Broadway. It's TV. And you've got a mortgage to pay.
No, I'm aware of that, Sammy. Oh, I shouldn't have asked for that. One time I do. Is it Harold Prince? Is it the Theatre Guild? No, it's my agent with dialogue out of a Bud Schulberg novel.
Bud who?
Look, the script will be ready when it's ready. Do they want it fast or do they want it good? Ask them that, would you please?
They want it tomorrow. That's what they want.
Bye, Sammy. We'll talk in the morning. Now I do need that drink. Mary? Did you hear what I said?
Yes, darling? Close your eyes. Isn't that feel better?
Magic fingertips.
The least I can do for such a talented man. That brain of yours must get overheated, working hour after hour, morning till night.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yes, you could. You're a genius with words.
I know. Oh, Mary, Mary.
Yes, Gregory.
Hold me.
It would be an honor. What was that? Outside the window, I thought I saw.
Gregory! Not Victoria. She can't be home yet.
Gregory!
The home office of Mr. Gregory West, noted playwright. Now a resident of the Hollywood Hills. A quiet, thoughtful man, even a bit shy, and at the moment, very happy. Despite the fact that he is overdebted. His latest project? A script assignment taken to ensure that his household remains secure. Despite the occasional fickleness of drama critics. The other ingredients of that household? There's Mary, warm, affectionate, devoted. The ideal companion for someone who values peace of mind. And the final ingredient, Mrs. Gregory West. In a moment, she's going to learn the secret of her husband's success. A method of creative writing taught only in the Twilight Zone.
And now, The Twilight Zone. And our story, A World of His Own. Starring Charles Shaughnessy, with Stacy Keach as your narrator.
Yeah, for the moment. Are you cold?
What?
Yeah, it's chilly this evening.
It was.
Shall I light the fire?
Not if you're with me.
You're so lovely.
Oh, Gregory.
Don't worry just yet. Mary. I'm sorry.
Not again.
I have to, Mary.
What? Why?
You don't know what she's capable of.
No, Greg.
What else can I do? Oh my.
Are you so frightened of her?
She can make my life miserable if she chooses.
All right then. If you must.
Hear me, Gregory. Are you deaf?
Be right there.
Don't think you can hide her from me.
What's that, dear?
Don't think you can let her out the window either. Gregory!
I thought that was you.
Where is she?
Who, my dear?
Not behind the drapes.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Under the desk?
Are you going on about Victoria?
You know perfectly well. Suppose you let her out the window.
But the window doesn't open. Remember?
Then where?
Who?
You little worm. You know who. What have you done with her? Where did she go? Where?
Please, stop. My glasses.
Cozy fire. Your smoking jacket.
Only because it's comfortable. You know I don't smoke.
Of course you don't. In order to smoke, you'd have to heat up. You've never risen above room temperature.
Sit. Let's talk this over.
Have you installed a secret door in here?
no, dear. The stud is as it's always been, a place of seclusion for my work.
For your work. The monkey business, you mean? What are you doing?
I'm arranging my notes.
Notes? Those are tapes.
No, you know I prefer to be tapes, dear.
I'm not your dear anymore, you libertine.
Who's a libertine?
You intend to stand there and deny it.
Deny what?
That you had a woman in here.
Victoria, I never meant...
Liar. Cheat. Fraud.
Victoria!
If you force me to do it, Gregory, I'll have this room torn down. Panel by panel, board by board.
Why?
Don't toy with me.
Who's toy?
And you must think I'm handicapped. What? Lacking in all my faculties. The vital functions, like sight. You think I'm blind?
Of course I don't.
Then how can you refuse to admit it? I stood outside that window and saw the two of you on that sofa there. Don't. Zip it. Shall I describe her to you, Gregory? Her brown hair, the simple black dress, the pearl necklace. How she handed you the drink. If I'm not mistaken, this drink right here.
I don't recall who made that.
You don't? Your private bartender, maybe? In our own home, Gregory. Our own home. That drab, ugly little creature.
She's not.
Aha!
How was your day, dear? You, went to a movie, didn't you? Was it a good one? Apparently not. Oh, well, they can't all be works of art.
Didn't expect me home so soon, did you? Thought I'd go out to dinner afterwards.
I didn't say that.
I've had my eye on you for some time now.
Oh, how flattering.
You thought you fooled me, didn't you?
Why, no!
No, you can't lie to me. You thought I'd never suspect the real reason you kept sending me away from the house. Have to be alone to work. The famous playwright. Famous philanderer is more like it.
You do me an injustice.
Oh, do I? All right. Out with it. Who is she?
Victoria. Dear.
Don't you dear me.
Ow!
And don't touch me.
At least try to understand.
Oh, I understand perfectly.
But you don't.
Why don't you enlighten me then?
There's no other woman in my life.
There certainly isn't. Not anymore. Because you don't have a life. That's the question of the evening. How? Well, I'm waiting. I'm a very patient person. I'm not going anywhere. Go ahead. Take your time. Choose your words carefully. Because I intend to report each and every one of them to my lawyer.
But that won't be necessary.
I'll be the judge of that.
Victoria. Victoria. All right then. You recall my play, The Fury of Night, The one that made my reputation. It won a Tony Award. Well, then there was interest from Hollywood and we moved out here.
I'm listening. What about it?
Well, you remember the character of Philip Wainwright? He was the first character that I was ever really successful with. The critics said he lived on stage, not a collection of mannerisms. He breathed.
What's her name?
What?
Her name. What do you call her? Fifi? Foofy? Or do you just call her whenever you feel like it?
Mary, but...
Mary! Oh, common.
She's not common.
Oh, you mean she has hidden talents? I'll bet. Does she cater to your every need? Drain off your tensions before they have a chance to build up?
Victoria, don't. I'm trying to explain.
Then go ahead. I'm all ears.
All right. You know I've spoken many times of how fictional characters seem to come to life for me. Such vivid life that they begin to determine their own actions. And as the author, I may have some particular lines and moves planned for them, but they simply won't do it. They become so strong that they begin to take over the story.
I'm not interested in a lecture on writing. You artistic types are all alike, full of mumbo-jumbo about feelings and moonbeams. It's all smoke and mirrors. A cover, a front for self-indulgence, wish fulfillment. you had a real job to go to. If your delicate sensibilities could stand up
Victoria, I'm asking you to bear with me.
Bear? I've borne you too long. And now it's over. Finny, kaput. 10-4, over and out. Wave bye-bye, mark it and strike it.
But this is important. Philip Wainwright. He was the first one of my characters ever to behave like this.
Like what? Like you? With a complete lack of morals? With duplicitousness?
Duplicity.
What?
The word is duplicity.
Is it? Well, I've got a word for you.
Look, I must finish this, so please don't interrupt. Now, no matter what I tried to make him do in the service of the story, he balked. Flatly refused to take direction. Wouldn't accept my choices any longer.
This is ridiculous.
He was real. Alive, do you hear? Alive. With a will all his own.
We're off the subject.
No, we're not. This is the subject. Philip Wainwright was alive. So much so that one night while I was working right here in my office, he came walking in through the door.
My God. You're delusional.
Victoria, believe me, he did. He walked right in and took a chair in front of the fireplace. A real flesh and blood man. Not just words anymore. And I had created him. What are you doing?
I think psychiatry is next on the agenda.
Put the phone down. I'm telling you the truth, Victoria. Characters from my plays began to come to life. I saw them. I talked with them. I shook their hands.
And made love to them?
Yes! I mean no!
You want me to put the phone down? How's this? Right on your fingers.
Ow!
Get out of my way.
Look, hear me out. You know how I work, how I dictate my dialogue and to the tape recorder.
The lazy man's way to riches.
I can describe any character at all into it, and now, if I do it well enough, truly enough, the character will come to life. Real life, Victoria.
Listen to yourself.
There don't even have to be characters in my scripts anymore. They can be any kind of characters I want. You told me that you saw Mary in the kitchen. Then how did she look?
But I trust my own eyes before I trust you.
Think about it. She didn't use the window. And you know very well that there's no secret door in here.
cassette tape. Is that what you do with your so-called notes? Burn them?
Only on occasion. When I have to get rid of something in a hurry, or someone. The tape I had recorded her on, I threw it into the fire just before you entered the study. And she was gone. Poof, just like that. Uncreated. Look, if you'll come over here, you can see what...
I've heard enough.
Wait!
I'm leaving.
I'm telling you the truth.
Get out of my way.
Where are you going?
I'm going to have you committed.
Look, you've got to believe me, Victoria.
What do you think you're doing?
Trying to save our marriage.
By locking the door? Don't waste your time.
It's so simple. Look, I could describe a cat or a dog or any kind of character you wanted. But I assume you'd rather see Mary. Besides, I've created her so often that she's readily available.
Oh, is she? Give me that key.
No, not yet.
Record it.
Her name is Mary. She's 36, 5'3" tall, simply built, brown hair, fair complexion.
The key.
On the surface,
Now.
a plain, quite ordinary female, yet with that quality of inner loveliness which gives a woman real beauty.
If you won't give it to me, I'll
a
take
tender,
it.
A gentle woman, an understanding woman. As she wears a simple black dress, a single strand of pearls at her throat.
I'm warning
very
you.
little makeup, her hair arranged simply.
There.
She's coming up the front walk now. She's crossing the porch. She's opening the front door.
Greg.
Closing it. Walking down the hall.
She's real. How did you do that?
Do what?
Bring her here. On cue.
Don't you understand? I described her on the tape. You heard me.
But why, Greg? Why do you bring me here now?
Because... it's a bit tricky to explain.
Try.
Come in, Mary.
Thank you. I'd love to.
She asked you a question.
I'm trying to think of the best way to put it. Give me a moment, Mary.
You do know each other.
Yes. Your husband's a wonderful man.
What do you want here?
There's nothing to be afraid of, Mrs. West. I'm here because it's Gregory's wish. It's not mine to doubt him.
Doubt him? You mean you don't?
I'm sure he has his reasons.
See? Well, Victoria? Do you believe me now?
This is some kind of plot. You did let her out of here through a secret door somewhere. Behind the bookcase? I'll find it. Then you tell me some fool story about characters who come to life and walk around as big as you please.
It's not a plot, I assure you.
Not a very clever one, that's obvious. You lock the door and pretend to make her real. And she slips around from the backyard and comes in through the front door and tries to make me think she's...
no. That's not what happened.
Not at all. I swear.
Trying to drive me insane. You want to have me committed.
I only did it because you said you were gonna have me committed.
Oh, no. You want to get rid of me so you'll have our property all to yourself. So you can share it with this...
Nothing of the kind. I only wanted to show you. It's a demonstration.
Greg?
What is it?
Is that why you brought me here? Not because you wanted to see me, but only to show her?
Mary, I'm trying to understand.
I am trying. Only Victoria's my wife.
Not anymore. Not after this diabolic conspiracy.
Oh, come on, Victoria. Can't I do anything right?
That's something I've been wondering for years.
You haven't answered me, Greg.
Answered what?
Is that all I am to you? A parlor trick? Something to show off?
Go
honestly believe that?
Yes. And that's the only thing I believe. I hope you two are very happy together.
Here we go again.
Don't leave because of me.
I wouldn't think of it. I'm leaving because of me.
Victoria, please.
Let go of me, monster.
Very well.
I'll claim false imprisonment.
In your own house?
What are you going to do now?
Oh, you'll see.
I'll scream. I will.
What for? No need.
Is that my tape?
It is.
And you're going to...
There's no way around it.
Craig, why do you do this to me?
I'm sorry, Mary, but what else can I do?
But again, I just got here.
I have no choice.
That's all you ever say. Don't you think I'm nice enough?
Well, that isn't it at all.
Not loyal? Not interested in your work? Not sensitive to your needs? Not giving enough?
No, quite the contrary.
If you're going to be cruel to her, don't do it because of me.
No, of course not. Wouldn't believe me. No. Had to make me prove it. Make me force poor Mary to... Oh, Victoria. Sometimes I wonder. A man has feelings. Feelings that get turned into thoughts, and then into words. And those words go onto paper, and eventually they live, and breathe, and walk, and talk, and strut upon the stage in their petty pace for a paying audience. But you wouldn't know anything about that, would you? Not even after living with me for so many years. I really don't want to do this.
If you do, don't bring me back again, Greg.
Mary.
Just... don't. I can't stand it any longer.
You're a part of me. You know that, don't you? I'm not speaking figuratively. I give you my word when I say this hurts me more than it hurts you. I'm so sorry, Mary. But she is my wife.
I understand. I suppose. It feels so strange. What's happening to me? Greg, help.
This elevator control console is dead. Fortunately, your suit was built to fall safely from any height. On Calyx, when all of your friends jump off a cliff, you get to jump off too.
Shush. Hold on to me if you like.
What have you done?
It won't happen anymore, I promise you. I'll never do it again. I never would have done it in the first place if I hadn't been so lonely. It's just that you're so perfect, Victoria, in so many ways. So impeccable, so flawless. You make me feel inferior.
Really, Gregory? I can't help what I am.
Well, maybe not. That's why I created Mary. I didn't do it to insult you. I just wanted a little company, that's all. Someone who wouldn't judge me and find me wanting. Someone I could talk to, someone I could feel comfortable with, instead of like a worm. You do understand, don't you? This has been a small sacrifice for me, and a giant step for the institution of marriage.
What are you doing now?
What else can we do? Turn to work. Well, all for a paycheck. Take a lifestyle you so richly deserve. Another tape, another dollar. We'll work it out, Victoria. You'll see. Somehow we'll work it out. Realize that I'm inadequate compared to you. At least in some ways, it's my fault. I should have been a pair of claws scuttling across a... Victoria? What do you have there?
You got your keys out of your pocket.
But I thought...
Don't try to stop me.
Where are you going?
To the nearest lawyer.
What?
I'm going to have you put away for the rest of your unnatural life. Away from tape recorders. I'm going to live in this house alone from now on. In peace. Free of your diseased mind.
No, Victoria.
Yes, Victoria.
Wait! No, wait! I can't let her go. I can't. I have to stop her, but how?
Recording.
A giant red-eyed elephant is standing just inside my front door, and he's mad. He isn't going to let it pass. Something the matter?
Get that elephant out of my hall.
Will you stay?
Yes.
What did you say?
Yes.
I can't hear you.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Say what?
Hurry.
Just a moment.
Gregory.
Yes.
I can't hold the door. He's drunk. He's grabbing my hair.
Another second or two. There.
You're mad.
You shouldn't have said those things, Victoria.
What things?
You'll stay now?
You think you can keep me here?
You don't want me to do it again, do you? How about a herd this time?
No.
It's just a simple matter of recording on another tape. Well, I have plenty.
I said no. I'll stay for now, Gregory.
Good.
But I can't promise for how long.
No.
You think I can live with a madman?
I don't know, can you?
Doesn't have to be this way.
You're so right.
When we met, you were a struggling playwright. Then you had a play off Broadway. I was so proud. It moved to off-Broadway, then to the Great White Way, and the reviews. I was so
We were happy then, weren't we?
ecstatic. We were a team. Onward and upward. There was no stopping us.
I remember.
And then the next play, and the next. It was like a dream. not sure how or when you began withdrawing from living in your head. You shut me out, Gregory. I thought when we moved here we'd be close again. But the deadlines, the pages, you didn't have time for me anymore. You didn't have time for a wife.
I'm truly sorry for that, Victoria. But I think we can salvage it, don't you? Start fresh as soon as I finish the script.
And will we move back to New York?
Well, I don't see how we can afford to. Broadway isn't what it used to be. Nothing but revivals and musicals now. This is where the money is. Our future is here.
What future?
Well, if Hannibal's Animals gets good numbers, I'll be flooded with offers. But what I really want to do is produce. Sammy says that's where the real money is. We'll form a production company, get some pilots going, and well, by this time next year, you should be sitting pretty. A bigger house with a pool, and I'll have every room wired for sound with hidden recorders, and that way I can dictate no matter where I am. And after a while, I won't have to write at all. My characters will do the work for me. I'll straighten their collars, wash behind their ears, and send them out into the world to make me famous. Can you see the future, Victoria? Can you?
Thank you, Gregory.
For what?
I can see the future. What it would be like with you. And now I know I was right. You are insane.
Oh, come now.
The first chance I get, I'll have you in a padded cell. Believe it, Gregory.
Well, I guess that's it.
How long have you had a safe in the wall?
This one? Oh, only since we moved here. Before that, I had a safe deposit box. From the time we were married.
What's in the number?
Oh, see, yes.
My name written on it.
That's right.
What's this supposed to be?
I'll show you.
A cassette tape.
Your tape.
What do you mean? My tape.
Shall I put it back for safekeeping, Victoria? Or shall I burn it? Which would it be?
You wouldn't.
The choice is yours.
You want me to believe?
Oh, I'm telling you, Victoria. As if I had to. Well, look at yourself. Regal, beautiful. You could have had any man you wanted. Haven't you ever wondered how you got stuck with me?
That's absurd. I know who I am. I have a lifetime of memories.
Oh, I know you do. I gave them to you myself. It's all here on the tip. Didn't I just tell you you're impeccable? Flawless. Exactly the sort of wife that I used to think I wanted more than anything else in the world.
This is another of your tricks.
Why do you suppose I was so upset when you came back before? No, not because of Mary, but because it was the first time you'd ever come back against my will. The first time...
Do you think you're frightening me?
No, I guess not. You're beyond that, aren't you? I made you too strong. I forgot to give you human frailty. Well, I guess I deserve it. It's what I asked for.
Give me that.
Oh, you want to be careful, Victoria. Very, very careful.
Tedious little bore. How could I ever have believed I loved you? Here's what I think of your childish trick.
Victoria! Do you know what you've done?
I feel strange.
I'm sure you do. It's too late. I can't pull it out of the fire.
I think I would like to. You don't need to tell me. It's true. No. It can't be true.
Victoria! Victoria West. She... Better to leave where I'm not known. Her name is Mary. Mrs. Mary West. She's 36, 5'3" tall, slimly built, brown hair, fair complexion. On the surface, plain, quite ordinary female, yet with that quality of inner loveliness which gives a woman real beauty. Tender, gentle. Just now she's coming into her husband's study. There you are. Oh, nothing really. Tape recorder. One of the tools of my trade.
Will you show me how it works someday?
Oh, I don't think it would interest you. Of course, it's of no importance. Nah, no importance at all.
Is the drink all right?
Perfect. As always.
Mr. Gregory West, still shy, quiet, very happy, and apparently in complete control of the Twilight Zone. You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound, a dimension of sight, a dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Margaret? Margaret?
Yes, Miss Alva?
Come here, please.
I'll be right there.
Now, it's important.
The dishes are all done. Do you need something?
It's getting late.
It's not that late, is it? We can play a game of cards if you like.
A storm is coming.
Is it?
Well, that's what they said on the radio. A very serious one.
The sky was clear this afternoon.
Nevertheless, I think you should be getting home.
Well, I'll just fix you a cup of tea then.
I'd like to be in my bed.
So early?
Well, I'm feeling a bit tired.
Oh, as you wish. Do you have your shawl?
It doesn't do much good. Oh, awfully chilly this evening.
I'll raise the thermostat.
Ah, there's the rain. Oh, I hope the roof holds.
Why wouldn't it? You had it reshingled last year. Here we go. I'll turn the bed down for you. Now, take my hands up and out of your chair.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Margaret. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Oh, you do just fine. You'll be walking again soon. Have you been doing your exercises like Dr. Mays told you?
It's no use. These legs simply don't work anymore. Oh, Margaret, I'll never leave this house again.
Now you stop that. There's a big, wide world out there. Places to go and people to see.
The only way I'll see them is if they come here. And there's not much chance of that. Most everyone I know is passed on.
Surely not. You have a phone right next to the bed. Call some friends. Keep in touch.
No, it's been too long. I don't know if the numbers work anymore.
Of course they do. If they don't, talk to Miss Finch at the telephone exchange. She'll look them up for you. Now, wait right here. I'll get you pills and a nice cup of hot tea.
Hurry, Margaret, the rain. You'll never get home.
Oh, don't you worry about me, Miss Selva. I'll be back with your tray.
Oh, my. Such a terrible, terrible storm.
Miss Elva Keene, who lives alone on the outskirts of Linden Fleet in Maine. Her world has shrunk to the size of the small house she owns, and may never leave again. For some years, the pattern of Miss Keene's life has consisted of sitting in her wheelchair or lying in her feather bed, knitting, reading books, listening to the radio, eating modest portions of food, napping, taking her medication, and waiting. For exactly what? She's not sure. Perhaps for something different to happen. Something small but significant that will make all the difference. Miss Keene doesn't know it yet, but her time of waiting has just ended. For something different is about to happen, by way of an unexpected phone call in the middle of a stormy night. A telephone call routed directly through the Twilight Zone.
And now, The Twilight Zone and our story, Night Call, starring Mariette Hartley, with Stacy Keach as your narrator.
Oh, someone calling? At this hour? Hello? I'm sorry, I didn't hear. The thunder. Hello? Hello? Who is on the line, please? Oh, no one, apparently. How odd. Perhaps I was dreaming. Oh, for the love of... Hello? Hello? I can't hear you. If you wish to speak to me, please say something, or I'll hang up. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Just a moment, Margaret.
You're up early this morning.
Oh, what is the matter with this phone?
I'm trying to make a call.
No one's picking up at the switchboard.
Well, I imagine they're pretty busy this morning, what with the storm and all.
I suppose.
Phone company, Miss Finch speaking.
Ready for your tea?
Just a moment. Miss Finch, this is Elva Keene.
Yes, Miss Keene, can I help you?
Oh, I certainly hope so.
Well, I'll do my best. What is the problem?
Last night, about 2 a.m., my telephone rang.
Oh?
I answered it, but no one spoke. And I didn't hear any receiver hanging up. Just silence.
Is that right?
Or rather, a crackling sound, like wind and rain.
That would be electrical noise, a faulty line, most likely.
The same thing happened a few moments later.
Well, I'll tell you, Miss Keene, that storm last night about ruined our service. We've been flooded with complaints about fallen wires and bad connections. I'd say you're pretty lucky that your telephone is working at all.
Oh, you would you?
Yes, ma'am.
And would you say then that someone was trying to call me, but that the connection was washed out?
That's as good an explanation as any, Miss Keene.
But who would have tried to call me in the middle of the night?
I'm sorry. I wish I could be of more help, but the way things are right now...
Is it likely to happen again?
I really couldn't say. It might. Were you expecting a call?
Not at that hour.
It depends on what's causing it to happen, of course.
Well, could you find out?
If there's a breakdown somewhere, our crews will find it and repair it.
And what am I to do in the meantime?
If it does happen again, you just call me and I'll run a special check on it. Will you do that?
Well, if that's your only suggestion.
I'm afraid it is. I'll be here in any event. Well, goodbye, Miss Keene.
Goodbye.
All taken care of?
I'm not sure.
I'll start your tea, and then we'll move into the living room. Would you like that?
Margaret.
Yes, Miss Alva?
Did you call me?
When?
Last night.
At 2 in the morning? No, ma'am, not me.
Oh. I thought you might have tried to check on me because of the storm. But then I don't pay you for nights, do I?
More tea?
No, thank you.
Have you taken your pill?
Yes. Don't I always?
Never missed one yet.
The highlight of my morning.
The mail should be here by now. Shall I check the box?
Why don't you do that?
With multiple injuries in the 5-car pileup, so take caution while driving in these slick conditions. The storms are still very strong in the north and northeast, while the rest of the city, the severe storms seem to have passed over. Several areas were still without power last night due to fallen wires. workmen restored electrical service shortly before dawn.
Here's your mail, Miss Alba.
Thank you.
Anything interesting?
Oh, an advertisement. Another advertisement. The light bill, the telephone bill, of course. No personal letters.
You heard from your sister a few days ago, didn't you?
Oh, that was weeks ago, Margaret. 3 weeks and 2 days, to be exact.
Has it been that long?
Yes, that long.